Welcome to lecture 5 of chapter 2. Now here we want to talk about this topic, syntax, variables, data types and operators in Python. Syntax we already discussed in the previous lecture. So now variables. Okay. Now regarding variables, what is a variable actually? So a variable is actually like a box in the memory location of computer in which you can put certain values. So for example, when you write like this, x is equal to 10, that means what? Create a box x and put the number 10 in it. Or you write like this, name equals Alice. Then at that time again, that is create a box name in some another memory location inside your computer's hardware and put the value of this string Alice inside. Now you can see one important thing. Certain programming languages, they require to declare. For example, here 10 is an integer, so they require that you write int, then a space x equals 10. Or here this is a string variable. Ordinary text is called string in programming lingos. So then you can write here string space name equals Alice. But Python does not require to write that specifically int or string etc. When you specify the when you specify the value of the variable 10, it automatically understands that this variable is of integer type and int. Similarly, when you specify the value here Alice, then it immediately understands that this variable is of string data type. So this is phenomena is called dynamic typing. So Python is a dynamically typed language, which means that type of determined the variable is determined at the runtime, and you can reassign value of the same variable to a different data type. For example, here my x is equal to 10, but that will take effect only when I run the code cell. Okay, so otherwise it is just a box which contains 10. But later on I can assign x is equal to some name, say Bob. Then it is possible to assign the same thing. Now let me show you this thing actually. Say x equals 6. Now this much when I run it, it will show that print x or just write x. Okay, so then also 6 you can see. Now here I want to show one important characteristic of Jupyter so that people are not confused. That Jupyter has this feature that you don't need to explicitly write print a statement. However, when that print statement is useful, that also you understand. Here I just earlier took one value x is equal to 6. Then in that case I did not need print value. But here suppose I take another variable also y is equal to 12.34. So this is called a floating point data type. Floating point in common language means a decimal number. Okay. So now if I try to print both x and y without using the print statement, then you will see that only the latest variable will be printed. X will be printed 6, but it will be immediately overwritten by this value. So in the output cell here, you will see only 12.34. Okay, that is how it is. You don't see that x is equal to 6. So how to know if our assignment, this is called assigning a value 6 to the variable x. This is called assigning a value 12.34 to a variable y. Okay, and this operator is called assignment operator. Please be clear about this and this. Here there are two equal sides. This is called comparison operator. So it just compares whether LHS, left side of that operator double equal, is equal to right side or not. While this assigns the value, that means whatever is on the right side of this symbol, that will be assigned to the whatever is on the left side of that symbol. Now the question is, how do I know whether my x is equal to 6 assignment worked or not? So in that case, you will have to provide a print statement. So print x and then print y. Now you will see that both will be maintained. So those who are new users to Jupyter, they should not be confused by that feature. Okay, that we just write x and y also, but then only the latest one will be executed. Okay, now let me see. This is integer variable that I have shown, integer data type. This is a floating point data type. So I can add comment integer, this floating point. Now I can add one more also, that x is equal to, so I just add my name. This is what is meant here, that it is dynamically typed. So the name of the variable is determined only at runtime, and therefore you can reassign the same variable to different data types. Okay. So now here what I want to do is this print text I put here, and thereafter I reassign the value. This is called a string variable. String is in common language or just an ordinary text. Okay. And now let me execute this. So you can see first time x was assigned value 6. Y is assigned, but next time x is assigned value pages. So same variable. So x itself does not have any built-in data type. Okay, that is the big advantage with Python, that it is dynamically typed. If you assign it to an integer variable, x will become an integer. If you assign it to a string variable, then x will become a string. Okay, this is the meaning of dynamic typing. And y is a floating point variable. So same variable can be assigned a different data type again and again. There are some more data types also. For example, I can write that a variable say BL equals true. So now if I write print BL, and I can press Control Enter. I will not, if I don't want to go all the way up and this run this cell triangle button, then I just stay in this cell and press Control Enter. Then that is the shortcut in Jupyter to run the cell. Okay. Then true is there. Okay. So here when I was comparing, if A equals A, now my A was PQR with R small and my small a was PQI with R capital. So obviously, if I do this comparison, then this side and this side, they are not equal because R is having different case in that. So I am getting the result false. And instead of false, I have chosen to write print, not case sensitive. But if these two would have been equal, suppose both are this only, then in that case, it would be true. This comparison would be true. So whenever you use comparison operator, the answer you get is either true or false. Such variable is called Boolean variable. Okay. Then there may be many more different types of variables. Here some variables are shown, list and dictionary and all that. So let me add few more. So for example, here L equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and L1 equals 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these are two variables and these are called list variables. So this is called first list and this is called another list. Now if I just write L plus L1 and if there is nothing more, then I can just avoid that print statement and I press Control Enter. Then I get this result. Remember, I don't get the sum of these two. So here this plus operator is working like concatenation, or in simple language joins two lists. It does concatenation of two lists. Okay, that means this is first list having 5 members. So this is here, and as soon as that ends, this is another list having some other 5 members. So that is just joined. Two lists are joined, and a bigger list is created. Okay, so this is one important feature, that when you write plus, then every time plus does not mean addition or numerical addition. Here plus means concatenation. Okay, but I will show you later on when we learn about NumPy library and all that, then how to do addition of all this. So if someone says I want to add first in first, second in second, so that I want an answer also that should have 5 members, and its 5 members should be 1 plus 1, that is 2, second should be 6, third should be 8, fourth should be 10, and fifth should be 12. That is the sum of corresponding elements of two lists. Then it is possible to do that. Again, the symbol remains plus only at that time, but first you will have to convert these two lists into NumPy array, where NumPy is one library, but that we have not yet done, so forget about that. Now, similar other data type is called dictionary. So a dictionary is shown by one curly brace, just like list is shown by one square brackets. Similarly, dictionary, and dictionary is always a sequence of key value pairs. So that means say A, this is one key and the value is 15. Then B, this is another key and the value is 20. Let us stop, but any number of elements, key value pairs can be added. Okay, so this is my dict D. I will just write D, and this particular type of data type, this is called dictionary, a very important data type in Python. And for any higher level or slightly advanced development, dictionary is super useful data type. So this is a key value pair. Then one can extract what are the keys of each dictionary, what are the value of key of first element, key of second element, then what is the value of first element, what is the value of second element. So A and B, they are called keys, and 15 and 20, they are called values, and you can obtain them. So that is one data type which is dictionary. Similarly, there is another data type which is called tuple. Tuple is shown by small bracket and it is written as 2, 3, 4 and like this. Okay, so tuple, small brackets and comma separated list of elements inside that tuple. Any number of elements can be present again. Okay. Then set is there, which is almost like dictionary, and we will do a very detailed discussion about these data types later on. So it is better to learn when they are actually used, because otherwise what will happen is that we discuss in detail about these data types here, but by the time their use comes in maybe 5th chapter or 7th chapter, many learners might already forget what was taught in this 2nd chapter. So we will discussed at that time. Okay. This diagram explains various Python data types. That numeric data type, numeric is further classified into int, float. I have already explained those two. Complex, I have not explained, but that we will see later on. It is not much important from programming point of view unless you are doing programming in physics or mathematics. Okay. Then Boolean data type that we have learned. Then mapping data type in which dictionary is there. Binary data type. Okay. This we have not discussed because they are slightly sophisticated and they are associated with the memory management and other things. So it is better to discuss them when they are actually used. These are called sequence data types. One is range, list, and tuple. Range we have not discussed, so whenever it is required, we will discuss it. Set. In set, there is one variable called frozen set that we will see when it's required, and string. Okay, so these are various Python data types. This diagram one should keep in the mind. Thank you.